ahead of our last game of the day, the showdown between Fnatic and G2. But before we get to this, we have Trymbi with us, back to the desk with the jersey this time. Congrats on taking this one today.
Exactly, now I have this microphone instead of a
I know.
I have to get used to that, but outside of it, I'm really happy that I can be here as a player. And yeah, that now, you know, after the win, I can enjoy a little bit my time, you know, don't need to be so stressed out about every single show that I come on as an analyst person. And yeah, now I can just play the game.
In a moment, you get to flame your own place instead of others' place. How's that?
I know.
It's going to be great.
That's true. And there's some stuff that I could be blamed for sure. This game, I think this game was really messy, even though it was like it should have been a convincing win for us, that's for sure.
I want to talk about Heretics in general through this game, maybe, and your comeback, Trymbi. I don't think it's easy coming back as a pro when you've been looking at things from outside for a while, but what is making things a bit more complicated than they should be with Heretics?
I would say it's a bit of a different team that, you know, I ever was in. You know, especially with the fact that we got like a little bit of changes, right, coming in for like Spring Split as well. It just made things very difficult when it came to practice. But then on the other hand, you know, we have like, I think our team players are really talented. I already got to work only with Wunder, right? But I really loved working with him as well. And yeah, I've been enjoying working with every single each of the individuals. I feel like FLICKR is a really good player, and I think Zvyro coming up right now, I think he's just like doing such a fantastic work, even though he's a rookie.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not easy coming as a rookie. I will ask him, of course, later, but we have you now, so maybe we can get your perspective on things. Coming after Perks, one of the most established players we have in League of Legends in Europe. How is he? How are the nerves for Zvyro? And the Polish duo of you guys? I think it's great.
The thing is, we don't talk that much Polish, you know, like between, even if I'm like around him alone, I still talk in English. I don't know why, like I'm just used to it.
Respectable.
Even with Inspired, I used to like talk a lot in English. We only talked in Polish if we couldn't speak out our minds, honestly. But outside of it, I mean, I don't know, he's just very confident in what he wants to play, and he just makes sure that people understand and like play around him, and that's something that is really positive for a player that is a rookie. I feel like, you know, it's so easy to play with him right now.
Yeah, and 3-2 right now for you guys. Hopefully you can end week 2 on a good note. But we're going to switch to Fnatic G2 here. A matchup that we know a lot. We've been seeing it for years. But I think it's different this time, as in Fnatic, I think, is on top of their game right now with the lineup that they have. We saw the potential that they had. I think we get to see it on the Rift. G2 being G2. But I want to have my eyes on the jungle matchup today, especially Razork, Yike. Who's the best jungler in the league, you would say, and why? I know, Trymbi, you had some strong thoughts on this.
I mean, I did say something before coming, you know, to live, but I do think, right, after working with Razork, he's for sure like one of the like greatest junglers I've worked with, that's for sure. But on the other hand, I had inspired Razork now before, and my rank I think is crazy, and I have Jankos now. So honestly, I have quite a good pool of junglers that I had, you know, with me, like when I was playing. So honestly, like these two that we see right now, and of course Jankos, you know, out there, like they're pretty good. They're pretty good players.
It's fine. You're up there, Jankos. It's okay.
No, like high up there, guys.
I don't want to create drama, of course. Broxah, as a jungler's perspective, actually, can you tell me what you think of this? Of this jungle opposition, and focusing a bit more on what Razork can provide and what Yike and Caps can provide all together as well.
So I think that's the interesting part, that Yike has actually changed his playstyle a lot since he joined G2. In the beginning, he got all the resources, everybody was playing around him, funneling gold into him. But you just mentioned both him and Caps, because now they're pretty much a package deal. Like most games they play, Yike is on a ganking jungler, he camps mid, sets Caps up for success. Whereas I think Razork is much more flexible and unpredictable in a way. Like you never really know where he's going to strike, and it feels like it mostly depends on that draft more than anything. So from a preparation standpoint against Yike, I kind of know what's coming. He's going to camp mid. But for Razork, it's a bit of a question mark, and you just got to be ready for anything.
I would say when it comes to Razork as well, he's like pathings in early game. He likes to tend to check what's happening on the map and then like figure out what's the best pathing for him. And I think he's like really good at it. Like at least when I played with him, it just every time there was like something bad happening, and it happens. It did happen in Fnatic. We would always get like a good pathing out of it, and he would always get ahead, even though we were like running it a bit down in lanes at least.
That's something they're both really good at actually, like finding windows to skip camps to look for a creative play, and still not falling behind. afterwards.
That's what makes international junglers the best, I think, honestly. Finding creative pathing through ganks. But let's focus on the draft here, shall we? Because we have all 3 bans from both sides already. What kind of direction do you want to see Broxah on the side of Fnatic? Opening here with the Taliyah.
Well, now we have Trymbi here, so I want to know.
There you go.
Like, I'm seeing Smolder is open. We've been talking a lot about Smolder, how strong the champion is, and how we as analysts are not super confident in anybody shutting it down. Does it surprise you, as a player, that it wasn't first pick?
It does, even though I still believe, you know, it's a champion that can get countered, and right, as G2 for instance showed, you can win against this champion, I feel like. But on the other hand, right, when you're a Fnatic fan, I don't think Noah is a type of guy who would like to play Smolder. I think the champion takes too long to scale. That's why I feel like it's just so hard for him to pick it up, at least from my point of view. And now, as you can see, right, there was two mid-bans, which was Nico and Orianna, so Taliyah is being picked. On the other side, Smolder. I don't know what they will pair it with. Maybe like a Rel or Jarvan, like they did yesterday. Not the best look, but it was pretty good for them, for sure, not for us.
I like the Ahri a lot, actually, because with Smolder, you're almost certain that you're gonna win in the late game. So Caps being an Ahri, then you could look for like a Lee Sin or Jarvan for Yike if you want to. Strong mid-jungle 2v2 that creates space and buys time for Smolder to scale. And yeah, just still having a strong early game.
Yeah, right now, as we can see, they don't decide to go for Zeri, which is like one of the picks Noah loves right now. They go for Kai'Sa and on top of it Nautilus, right? So they will try to pretty much dive into Smolder unless it's a full AP build, which I'm not sure if Noah would like, but it's a build with like Manamune and full AP, which could technically outrange. And on the other side, as you can see, Mikyx goes for Tahm, which kind of like neglects the dive potential. Yeah, exactly. Which just, you know, it's pretty good for them because right now they have Ahri, who's pretty mobile, and they have Smolder, who I think can quite comfortably scale in this matchup, even though I think Kai'Sa and Nautilus can pressure off a little bit. Still, right, you have so much potential after 3 level 6 onwards, I would say.
So now we get to focus on the top side of the map, jungle top side, on both sides.
Yeah,
the island.
I think, you know, you never know for sure, but there's a high chance that G2 is just going to pick an AD jungler on 4 here, leave last pick for Broken Blade, because with Ahri, like any strong AD jungler is just so powerful, and no matter what they pair the Taliyah with on Fnatic side, it's so hard to contest the 2v2, and that's really what makes G2 so strong right now. Being able to play around Caps and being able to be aggressive mid-jungle.
Hello, Cap's dad, of course, supporting his son as usual. What is the last bans that you want to see Trymbi here on both sides?
I mean, I think they're just banning the most comfortable, like the top laners that they don't want to face. I guess for G2 is Renekton, so you know, a champion that can like easily be like blinded. On the other side, there's TF, right? Extremely good counter pick. They ban Rel, so they're not looking for that one on 4, which is like a bit surprising, right? But like from the left side, it will be a perfect pick pretty much, and you cannot really counter it because you want to jungle on 4. And they ban Jarvan. I would say Jarvan, actually it's not so good for Fnatic, so I guess it makes sense, right? So now I'm actually not sure what he will pick in jungle, because I would say there's Lee Sin, right, open. There's, I would say Lee Sin, Viego, I think would have been an option, even though it's not so great of a... Okay, yeah. There's Lee Sin. And I actually don't know what Razork will play, because I don't think it's the easiest option.
Well, he's a known Poppy player, right?
Yeah, he really likes it.
As a Lee Sin player, whenever Poppy is locked in on the enemy team, I just want to start crying. Like, it makes your life really miserable. And it's, you know, Nautilus is also the most annoying support. I like the angle for Yike, I would have locked it in as well, but I think it's not going to be an easy Lee game. Cassandra makes a lot of sense. Fnatic's comp is now really well rounded, and they can just leave him alone top, play through mid, move to bot, and try to make early plays with Kai'Sa North and have control around the track.
I mean, Gwen would have been quite nice. The only thing I'm not sure about Fnatic team comp is that, right, they kinda wanted to dive in, but now they're more into like stopping. I'm not sure how to say, right? So I think Noah might have quite of a tough work in this one, because I think it's not easy for Kai'Sa to hit, unless, right, of course, the G2 is not able to deal any damage with Smolder, which could happen, but looking at how broken this champion looks like, I don't think that will be the case. So.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, is it careless on the side of Fnatic to leave Smolder open, because they had a clear objective with the dive composition, had to pivot when they saw Kench, giving a new vibe to the compositions they have. How do you make sure, Broxah, on the side of Fnatic, that you're not going to make the same mistakes that Kai'Sa let happen?
I think the challenge for them is, when you play against Smolder, you generally want to control mid, because if you can push mid, you can move bot, and you can put Smolder behind. Now, with Poppy Taliyah, they have a good chance of consisting, but it's never going to be easy against Ahri and Lee. So they are going to need the mid-jungle synergy to be on point and make sure they shut it down so they can go bot and put Smolder behind.
Yeah, I feel like there will be a lot going on in early levels on bot lane, because I think G2's bot lane is way weaker than Fnatic's bot lane. I think Poppy is a pretty good diver if you know already, right? If you can like stun the guy on top of the wall, right, and then he cannot use any dashes, it's pretty broken. And I would say that's something that Fnatic will try to do with Taliyah moving. And I think if they don't manage to do that, I think it will be quite hard for them to play later on.
Well, let's find out on the Rift, shall we? We are gearing up for Fnatic versus G2, the last game of week 2. Casters, over to you.
Thank you very much, Laure. I'm Draco. Standing next to me is Vedi, and we are ready for Fnatic and G2. I kind of thought we were immediately going to get in there. We have a couple seconds. I'm fired up. I'm ready. Mostly for mid-jungle. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of things we could talk about. All I care about, really, truly, honestly, Yike caps, Razork Humanoid, battle to the death. Let's get it going.
I'm excited. When I think of Razork, I think of certain champions.
Ah, okay, yes.
Echo is the first one.
Really?
For those that don't know, Razork was a long-time Echo 1 trick. He's a massive enjoyer of the champion. He was the originator of the Nash's Tooth Echo jungle. At least I believe so. That is what my trust me sources.
Don't Google. Yeah. And believe that Betty is a genius.
Yeah. Second champion is Taliyah. He loves AP junglers. Taliyah jungle, when it was in the meta, he was absolutely running rampant on it. Third, Poppy. Poppy is just a champion that, do you remember when Poppy Trundle was like the meta? Jamada was coach of Fnatic. Like, this was the champion that he loved to get his hands on and something he has so much success with. So playing up against Yike, in my opinion, a favorable matchup, I'm super excited to see it, because I feel like that we've got G2 that is performing right now. Definitely there are some points of criticism that can be made about their play overall.
Early game.
They're finding the wins, currently undefeated against their longtime rivals, Fnatic. So here we are, early invade coming out from Fnatic. They didn't spot out Yike, who's starting on the Raptors right now. The ward was there to spot them out, so I'm curious as to how Yike will adapt his pathing.
So basically the call out here is Fnatic have now set up for the split map. Yike can come down, but there will just be less resources for him to pick up here. Might need to do so just to cover a potential dive. You talked about Razork on the Poppy. Most of his big Poppy games are games where he completely takes over in the early game.
Oh yeah.
A lot about those early dives, the aggressive flash knockbacks to the wall. See if you can try to set that up once again on the bottom side. His bot lane already winning in isolation, though, it is important to know.
We did hear about that from Analyst there, so Broxah and Trymbi talking about how Fnatic and Jun do have the advantage. Sorry, Fnatic and Noah and Jun, I should say, have the advantage in this bot lane 2v2, and you're seeing the trades on your screen right now. This gives them opportunity to set up for the dive. I thought the Razork would actually create the full split map. Right now, he's just doing a full clear on his bot side after stealing away the blue to slow Yike down a little bit. The level 3 is going to tick through, and now here comes the dive. The question is, can they make it work?
Set up to crash the stacked wave here. Really hard for Hansam and Nick to approach. Vision now being cleared out. Yike has to come down here. It does mean that Oscar and Broken Blade are isolated on the top side. Broken Blade does crash that wave, and we'll look to proxy the next. This is good use of the information that Broken Blade does have. He knows there's no one that could be here on the top side of the map. That said, Razork sprinting up to top side to try and punish this.
Oh, nice Humanoid.
Humanoid already getting a nice bit of pressure mid lane.
Razork, though, choosing not to commit to the dive, wants to actually punish Broken Blade, who's going to do the execute tech. It's a fast base.
It is actually the same speed as recalling.
Yeah.
But faster.
You're right. That was an 8-second death timer.
8-second base timer, but you just dash in, you instantly die, you're good.
Now he's back on the map, and he lost nothing for it, apart from his KDA.
I will be clear here. Boss viewers, that is an objectively good death.
Yeah.
Watching the boss does not mean you're just allowed to sprint it every game. That is what a good death looks like. Stop.
That was indeed a good death, I agree. Broken Blade going to make his way back to lane. We'll pick up the Amtome. And overall, though, I'm a little surprised. I was expecting Razork to really commit to something like those dives. Humanoid had great pressure on the mid wave first time it feels like that I'm seeing Caps on this Ahri, and he's really being punished in the matchups that he should be punished in. Caps is a player that will actively trade HP with you, and he'll always play on that very edge where you think he should flash, right? And then he just doesn't.
Yeah.
But Humanoid has a very long history of playing against Caps. Caps has an overall winning record against him in the mid lane matchup, but that doesn't mean that Humanoid is afraid to go toe-to-toe with him. He's found a small lead for now.
Knockback
Oh,
there,
Yike actually
Yike
yoinks
gets
that
it.
one.
Level advantage now to Yike, steals an objective away. So, 1 for 1 on the blue buffs in the grand scheme of things, but Razork spending a lot of time there. It's going to feel pretty bad, so Yike at a camp lead as he moves back to his rafters.
Topside scuttle was secured by Razork. Unlikely that Yike will be able to answer on the bot side. You can actually see the supports fighting over it right now. TP going to come in from Hansama to get back to lane ASAP.
And I will say, I don't think it gets easier to dive the Smolder Tahm Kench combo, especially as you get closer to level 6. There is still a window of opportunity here, but obviously Mikyx running exhaust makes it pretty tough. If the initial damage, if the initial combo from a Nautilus and a Poppy together doesn't hit the proper target, very easy to fumble on the dive, although this is an excellent start. Hansama now flapping out to safety, but lo and behold, here comes Razork. Mikyx is able to make it out, backstepping. No CC left for the Tahm Kench to stop from escaping.
I think that's one of the scary things that Hansama is dealing with right now, is that Razork just feels omnipresent. He's just always around. Oh, you took a bad trade? Well, Poppy's here. What's up? And always being forced to play defensively. A very small CS deficit for the time being. But Hansama, he's okay with the position that he's in right now. Continuing to stack up, he knows that he should be the weak side. Yike's responsibility is to mitigate that pressure. The strength of G2's composition should be their mid-jungle, this skirmishing power that they have at their disposal. Of course, running into the Poppy at the wrong place in the wrong time, like Taliyah Poppy, it's a dasher's worst nightmare.
That's true. Should be undashable in the Lee Sin Ahri. We've seen a lot of creative angles from both Yike and Caps, especially on this mid-jungle duo. Able to make a lot of early game plays work, especially once level 6 is reached. Yike getting closer to that point. Caps still has not bought boots, which is a bit awkward here. Part of the reason I think the Humanoid winning out on a lot of these trades is just so much easier to land your skill shots.
I've forgotten the name of the rune, but the one that gives you the potions.
Extra potions is the name of the rune.
Is it really?
No. Forgot it too. Never take it.
I love the confidence that you had.
If you say it, that's one thing I've learned from the casters of yesteryear. Sometimes you just got to say it.
Say it with confidence.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Extra
no, that's
potions.
the extra potions rune.
That's the extra potions rune.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it does.
True.
It's called Bag of Potions.
So the first one gives him Adaptive Force for 60 seconds.
Yep.
But the crucial one is the skill point one.
Definitely.
Hang on a minute.
Pullback is good from Oscar. Broken Blade now trying to heal up, but Oscar just gets a quick kill, and meanwhile Fnatic are taking something else on the bottom side too. Caps now dashing, running, one extra charge left there. Hansama leaping in, flapping, Jun getting taken down, and the Smolder just getting a ton of stacks. G2 turning this fight beautifully. Humanoid, the flip back not quite going to connect on the Yike. Good patience. Yike finishes it. Razork getting taken out too. The stacks just keep coming.
And that's 3 kills for G2 on the bot side. Great solo kill from Oscar in the top lane. Can Mikyx make this happen?
Knock up.
Doesn't quite get the knock up though. Hansama getting a double kill is a worst case scenario for Fnatic. This Smolder is not who you want accelerated. But G2, 2K gold lead now, 7.5 minutes in.
Oh, and this is going to hurt.
Level 6.
Sama backing out, throws down the mom. Hook does land onto Mikyx. Maybe Noah can follow up. He does have access to the ultimate. Taking their time. Hansama needs to back away. Only level 5 for Mikyx. Trying to predict where they're going to go. Noah flashes and finishes the kill. Mikyx should just be next. They don't want to go for the dive yet. Yike on the way in. You have to keep your eyes on this Lee Sin. G2 just going to back away.
Gwen died again.
Excellent punish. Gwen died again.
Yeah, I noticed the kills are 3-3, and they were 1 and 3 just a second ago. We'll likely get a replay to understand what happened, but Hans and Mikyx, I think they wanted to push in that bot wave before they went for the reset, and they end up getting punished for it. We're going to look back up to the top side. Stacked wave. Broken Blade clearly not learning his lesson from before. Oscar has the damage to set up for the play. And then here comes Razork. Easy peasy.
And I really like this from Oscar. You know, we look back at some of the games where he's been put ahead, and he hasn't always been able to transition that lead to the rest of the team, but he's playing aggressive into this matchup versus the Gwen. He's looking strong in the individual 1v1, and going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get a replay of that mid-fight because obviously the goal there was to catch Caps.
Yeah.
And he got away with a tiny amount of HP. I think it was the Guardian from Mikyx that ended up keeping him alive. Such a close play, but if Fnatic had gotten that initial kill, it could have turned out more favorable. But instead, Smolder picks up 2, Lee Sin picks up 1. They're going to unlock the first dragon for themselves. And the bot side of the map, pretty positive for G2. Oh, I say that, we're actually going to get a replay right now.
Okay.
Nice pick here from Humanoid. The flash in from Razork. The chain CC is good, but he gets the flash, and there's that Guardian, keeping him just barely alive. The blue buff resets as well. At this point, Fnatic have committed so much that the re-engage from G2 is enough. Now, again, they're attacking Broken Blade.
Pick off. Caps now can try to make it over the wall. Broken Blade living for an extra moment here. The Gwen healing, though, not nearly enough. The knockback from Razork doesn't connect, and that's going to be big. Caps going to at least be able to grab one. He should be able to find the reset, but Oscarinin, it's already too tanky. Look at all that MR. Caps doesn't do any damage. The back half of the Orbit of Deception, the only thing that really hurts.
He's
Yike.
healing more than he's taking. Yike, though, can he clean this up? Connects the Q.
Goes in, nice knockback. Not today, buddy. That's a stop sign. Flick back as well. And that's why we're skeptical about the Ahri Lee Sin duo. The interrupts are just so damn powerful. Fnatic coming ahead in the skirmishes.
Fnatic, just like that. I thought it was a big blunder in the bot side, and I mean it was, but they've just turned it on its head. They realized the point of weakness. It's top lane, it's Broken Blade. Losing out in the 1v1. They've now repeatedly ganked him, and they've said, oh, we can make our K'Sante unkillable. Look at this, the Caning Rukun already finished. You talked about that magic resistance. Caps was tickling him. He did not care.
He doesn't even have an item yet. Oscar's 800 gold ahead. 0-4-0 for Broken Blade. You said it already. This is going to be tough.
All right, what's the number? Oscar currently has 124 magic resistance.
55% reduced.
55% reduced magic damage. Now, of course, Ahri does have some true damage on her kit, but against a Gwen, the Gwen is not happy.
Also has a little bit of true damage, but yeah. A lot of it still not true damage, very crucially. And Fnatic, gotta say, after that initial fight went wrong on the bottom side of the map, I thought they were done. Excellent capitalization in the bot lane from Noah and Jun to follow up, to find the first kill, and then consistently good plays around the top side from Oscar in isolation, as well as this with the support of Razork and Humanoid to come back. That said, you still have to respect the mid-jungle duo here. Humanoid laying down the rocks. Excellent positioning. Just ensuring that Yike does not have an angle to dash in. Razork there now to cover as well, and essentially an even trade, but more resources committed from the side of G2.
Nice play there. Nice patient play from Humanoid. Doesn't get afraid of the charm from Caps. Holds on to his flash and is able to get the nice sidestep. The matchup that has historically been G2 favored is looking good for Fnatic right now. Obviously, the big point of criticism from G2 largely throughout this whole year has been their early game. And we've seen them come back, Dragos.
I mean, their mid-game, this is the balancing point, right? And why they're still considered the best team in our league is their mid-game feels untouchable. Most teams just don't even feel like they can keep up. They're so diligent in their vision control.
Oh, yeah.
They're so good about setting up objectives and finding windows of opportunity to look for picks.
And that's kind of why they've earned the benefit of the doubt, which is why I'm just saying right now, Fnatic in a great spot. They're doing everything right. Things are looking good, but they need to maintain that performance because it's players like Caps that always find ways to turn games around. And he's a player you can never afford to underestimate. Undoubtedly voted unanimously as the best mid laner from Winter.
The only 2 votes that didn't go to Caps were the votes that G2 placed, where they weren't allowed to vote for Caps.
And even this split, I believe in all of their wins, Caps has had player of the game in every single one of them.
Oh, dang. Yike going in. Kickback is good. Needs a bit more space. Nice knockback. Yike flashes in, but the Q is already gone! He mistimes it! And he gets punished. In the meantime, Oscar's taking a tower in the top lane.
Oh, wow.
This early game isn't just bad for G2, it's going from bad to terrible. Caps goes in for the Charm Flash, but Razork is there, and Humanoid is living! G2 are limit testing, and Fnatic are their limit!
The mid-jungle was what we had our eyes on coming into this game. And Razork and Humanoid are here to play. Incredible stuff. Razork yeets Caps out of the fight with a great ultimate. Humanoid hits him with the knockback underneath the tower. I really hope we get a replay of that because I want to understand. Let's look back. So, starts off with Caps, connecting the charm onto Humanoid. Looks good initially. Caps goes in with the war jump, tries to get the kick, but the nice interrupt from then the flash. I guess he's trying to get over so he can still connect the second half of his Q, but then the Q wears off.
Fade away, yeah.
So the CC was just long enough, and then Caps thinks that he has the damage. Really nice flash here. A single auto attack was all he needed. But he gets CC'd. Elation from the coaching staff, naturally, and a big smile on Humanoid's face.
Has to feel good. And you know, Humanoid just levels up. I feel like the better the mid lane opposition, the better Humanoid plays. And Caps, the best in our league. You said it before. Humanoid looking to contest that at least a little bit, show that it is a two-horse race. Fnatic, good setup on the objective, should be fine here. The ticking time bomb that always has to be respected is Smolder, and Smolder paired with a clean mid game from G2 is a threatening prospect. So it is on Fnatic to keep the pressure up.
I mean, G2's in such a deficit. They don't have a top laner right now. Broken Blade is just being removed from the game.
Yep.
Which means that Fnatic now no longer have to even consider that as an option. They can just funnel all of their resources into this Razork Humanoid duo. And look at what they're doing right now. Humanoid moved off to a side lane. Noah clearing out midway,
Double
moving the ball.
knockback. Caps now going to be in trouble. Razork going to go in. Knockback into the wall is good. Immediate ball. Flip back is there. He doesn't even get to push any buttons. What's the use in having hands if you don't get to use them? But now the punish from G2. Mikyx looking to follow up. Razork wants to try and
punishing
disengage,
who?
But he already used the ult. The flick back. It's still Humanoid, baby. It is Marek Broxah today.
That is what they call absolute cinema, and it is off the back of Humanoid. They're gonna confirm it into another kill.
What are we watching?
An absolute slaughter on the side of Fnatic. You talked about how Humanoid levels up against that opposition, and against G2 today, Fnatic are looking crisp. The fans are on their feet. I say that, I know.
The fans are loud and also sitting. Fine, they stood up a lot.
We look back at this play. So Razork, their priority is the tower, or even just the single dive on the Caps. Great interrupt. We don't have time. We're back to a solo kill.
Broken Blade.
Give us the replay again, because we've seen this one before.
We've seen that. 0-5-0. He's just too far behind. This is a slaughter.
It is an absolute slaughter, and we already talked about how the comp just limits all this mobility on the side of G2. The Poppy Taliyah working wonders at shutting down G2's playmaking potential.
And don't let the fact that Noah is building the new flavor of the month Kai'Sa build distract you from the fact that Humanoid is absolutely Goomba stomping G2 with the support of Razork right now. Oh. But it does deserve being, this is the new thing.
Is Ellis awake? Does he know?
Ellis will know. Go to Ellis's Twitter. I'm not, all of the context you need is there. TLDR, it does a lot of damage. And it involves a lot more AP.
Oh, we're getting the replay, excellent. Because all we need to see is this great play from Humanoid.
One more time.
This is good. Great stuff. Nice knockback. That initial kill is good. So, G2, now they're looking to try and get the re-engage. There's no wave. Good damage from Hansammer's ultimate. But at this point, it's a bit of an awkward. Look at this knockback. All three members. They one-shot Mikyx. He does get a kill onto Jun, but it doesn't matter. There's nowhere for Hansammer to escape to. They wait for the wave. Noah picks up another one. Incredible play from Fnatic. We've talked about it. Fnatic, are they the second best team in Europe right now? They were shut down by Mad Lions last split. They've come in on a tear, only losing a single game, and they're looking to shut down G2's undefeated streak so far in Spring.
Looking to reignite a rivalry that hasn't felt at the forefront of our minds for quite some time. It is just a single game, but it's an impressive game. Tahm, of course, continuing to stack up, continuing to scale. 159, not bad by any means. Doing a very good job of continuing to accrue Smolder stacks. Fnatic very far ahead. This is the ultimate test. You have a massive lead. This should be your game to win. G2 have been untouchable in the mid game thus far this season, and frankly, thus far this year. Can Fnatic be the exception? They found one win in our last playoffs. One of only 2 teams to do so. Charge coming in. Razork Drift King. He's already done so much good this game. He doesn't need anything else, but he wants more. But there's not really more for him to get. He just hits the wall there, and the Herald will wander in and get a single auto.
Good job, Shelly.
From the perspective of G2, Fnatic are dominating. They're super far ahead. The nice thing is if you're a G2 fan, it's very simple to keep track of what G2 want to do. They want time. to get items on every champion on their team, but most especially
He's just Smolder.
Yeah. Like,
Stack
Broken
check,
Blade is 050.
168.
Yep.
Right
He's
now,
doing good.
it is all about, can this champ really 1v9 a game? I know right now, Kadril is yelling in his chat, just don't let Hans Sama play. He is the only condition that can ruin Fnatic's day right now.
All the tools in the world to stop Hans Sama from playing the game.
Yep.
The hard part about it is you just literally can never let him near a minion wave ever. But if you don't kill him, he gets stacks from hitting you. So you're kind of...
He's got 2 items, and it's one of those things where, like, I'll tell you right now. I mean, I think you told me today, next patch, Smolder is getting nerfed.
Good.
Right?
I mean, based on, I haven't seen the actual full changes that came through, but I saw the, kind of the tweets that they put out talking about it, and they were big hits to so many different areas.
But it's one of those things where, like, people are going to sit there and, like, there's some side that say Smolder's not that OP. There's others that are like, Smolder is truly OP. If Hans Sama wins this game from this position, I think there's no argument left.
We'll have to see how he does it. Context is still king, but...
That's true.
Yeah, it'll be there will be a lot of strong copium angles out there about G2 just working on their mid game, just just weren't focusing on their early game. So
I mean, credit to Oscar, he completely bodied Broken Blade.
Yeah, I mean, as good as Razork and Humanoid have played, Oscarinin generated that advantage solo.
3.5k gold lead.
I mean, he didn't generate all of that in isolation, but he got that ball rolling by himself. Which is not impossible in Pro League of Legends, but is incredibly impressive.
I saw Hans Sama hit Oscar with the Q, and I'm pretty sure Oscar gained health.
Probably. Yes.
Hit him with another one. Yep.
But every time Oscar walks up, he's giving Hans Sama stacks.
That's true. He's already at 100. Wait, he's gained 30 stacks since the last time we spoke.
Really good at stacking. Hans Sama's really good at doing this.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you're going to play a Smolder or a Senna, you have to be really diligent about just getting your stacks. Smolder, it's a little bit more obvious.
What I will say is now I really want to see Fnatic putting the pressure on. You can see them playing through 2 lanes right now. The waves are a little desynced, so the Smolder is just wave queuing. And the thing you got to remember, this ultimate is just so effective at stalling.
Yeah, and they nerfed it. It's 20 seconds more on the cooldown this patch, but still, Hans Sama's going to wander over
nice
here.
Use of the ultimate. I love
the wall comes in, but Hans Sama can ult.
He
can at least.
But I don't think it'll keep the tower alive. I think Fnatic has secured this.
No, they're backing away for a second. Waves down. You're right.
Good stuff. I do think Fnatic should consider forcing Baron. Not necessarily to create the flip, but to use it as an opportunity to force a fight. We look at the engage tools of Fnatic. They don't have the most reliable engages. I'm not worried about Oscar, even slightly.
Okay, all right.
Jun has his hook, has his ult, but kind of like, they kind of have to run at G2, which is why you can use things like Baron or Dragon to force a fight, or even you have Poppy ultimate to do this and do exactly what. Now imagine that red buff is a Baron.
Now you're in a good position. I like what you're cooking up here, Vedius.
Maybe they're just waiting for Noah to get online. According to LS and his video, it's 3 items.
Hey, wait, 3 items.
This comes online. Yep. You want to make sure that Mana Mune.
Fully stacked.
Yeah, you want to make sure the Mana Mune is fully stacked.
Oh
yeah, because Mana gives you more mana.
That's a good way to remember it. I always forget.
Yeah.
Just say 1 and trust that most people don't know the difference.
Like, oh yeah, the extra potion elixir.
What bag of potions you mean? TM. That's my name for it. You'll see it in the next patch notes. I'm bringing it up with the team.
So Fnatic are gaining control over the top side of the jungle, limiting the vision, and if our observers would be so kind as to show what G2 see right now, you'll notice that it is very quickly dwindling.
They have 1 control ward in the pit, crucially, but that will soon get taken away. Important thing to keep track of. Now the setup going in. When are Fnatic comfortable to pull the trigger? This build from Noah does a lot of damage with the Ws. Obviously, when you connect, you reduce the cooldown. Effectively, just an AP Kai'Sa gets the advantages of the empowered Agathian Ray as well, so can really lay down a lot of poke. But just a bit of harass.
Yeah, our observer's doing a great job of highlighting the pressure that G2 finds himself in right now. Obviously, Hans Sama now at 240 stacks, but the Baron being started off. Jun and Oscar acting as zoning tools while the other 3 members secure the Baron. Information has been garnered. Now G2 need to find their way in, but how do they get past this wall that is Oscar?
For a big wall, but Yike still trying to set his focus on the pit. Humanoid waiting off to the side to deny any potential entry. Yike flash out to safety. Razork just goes in, knocks him into the wall. Here comes Mom, but it might not be enough. But Smolder hit 225 stacks, and that could be it. Caps, they're fighting in the funnel. They're fighting against Smolder in the funnel, and they haven't knocked him back. He's flat flapping his way out to safety. But his wings cannot take him far enough. Fnatic still winning out on the trade, but they have to be perfect. They have to be flawless. They can't give anything else to the Smolder.
They've only lost Jun. Fnatic still have 4 members alive. This should be an uncontested Baron. They played that Baron to perfection, completely limiting Yike's options. It felt like that he did everything that he could, right? Ward jump, the flash, but it just wasn't enough. We look back, Oscar acting his own control. He gets CC'd. Yike now trying to sidestep the knockback, flashes away, but then Razork being the final nail in the coffin. The ultimate here from Hansama was devastating. He melts through Jun. But look at how quickly Mikyx, he's the one trying to peel for his top laner, but then it's he who drops.
And the burst damage from this Kai'Sa build is just disgusting. When you move to the pinch like that against
big grin on Humanoid's face.
This is the most I have seen Humanoid
He's very
smile
smiley
in
today.
quite some time.
He is very happy to be here right now. 5-1-6 on the Taliyah. Fnatic with an impressive performance. There was only a single blunder. It was when they tried to catch Kai'Sa around this bottom river. They dropped 3 kills, but then immediately they bounce back, get 2 of their own. A lot of their success is being driven by the top side of the map. Oscarinin working with Razork to shut down Broken Blade, find successes on his own, but really that mid 2v2 is what swung it. We talked about it on the Analyst test, we talked about it coming into this game. We wanted to see Razork Humanoid versus Caps Yike, and Humanoid and Razork just got the better of them today.
Certainly did, and at this point in the game, it's just nigh impossible for G2 to play. Yike now sprinting for his life, needs to make it out.
Okay, how much damage can they do to Oscar here?
A little bit. They do a little bit.
A little bit.
Problem is, Oscar does the thing that Oscar does, and many Casantes do, to be fair, but I love it.
Oh, he has a locket.
Yeah, he just starts building support items. Because he knows it's not about him. He won his lane, he just wants to set up his carries, because Noah does a hell of a lot of burst damage if he's ever allowed onto an isolated target, and he's Kai'Sa, so he will be allowed onto an isolated target. Setup, flick back is there, Mom showing up, but she's not very menacing. Fnatic moving in, getting the single pick, taking down the inhibitor.
Fnatic do not fear the dragons today. They will unlock the bot lane inhibitor. The Baron wearing off in about a minute's time means that Fnatic could probably still get 1 more objective out of this. Maybe they can destroy that mid tier 2. Hansama continuing to scale as quickly as he can. This AP Kai'Sa fully online now. And it's a shame we don't have the damage breakdown of AD versus AP. I would imagine with this build, Noah's going to be doing a lot more AP damage, largely driven by the poke from your W, but yeah, I imagine that it's quite mixed.
Yeah, because you get the actives, obviously, off the Murrow mana. Those procs are physical. The Acathian Rain is always physical, even though it does scale off. But, yeah, plus you get the passive attack from second skin. I think you're right. Probably like 60, maybe 70% magic.
Whoa. Razork losing 50% of his HP there, and this is the respect that Fnatic still have to show. Still, though, there's a 2-level difference between the AD carries. Ooh, but that's the damage right there.
And that's without the proc. If another one hits, Caps is in trouble. Poke just get... okay.
AP Kai'Sa. Yes, we thought we'd abandoned this era, but we're back.
Damn, Noah is precise.
I mean, doesn't it also work that if you hit it, it reduces the cooldown as well?
It's like a 2-second cooldown if you hit it. It's essentially 0 cooldown. Smolder smoldering. Will just delete the wave. Razork
smoldered.
Wants a bit more time on the tower, though, and enough lockets are here to ensure that Fnatic should be able to secure the tier 2, but have to be a little bit careful.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Ooh. Okay. Every time it hits a minion, G2 breathe a sigh of relief and know they have 6 more seconds before.
Analyst is so happy right now. He's getting so many clips for his next video. It's just
validated. He's been waiting.
No,
it's so good, it single-handedly beat G2. That's the title of the YouTube video. Yeah.
You can have
no context needed.
Mouth open, just this build in the background.
The art of YouTube thumbnails. We've been learning that on Euphoria. Dramatic facial expressions. Mr. Beast showed us the way. Now we all must follow suit. There's only one YouTube thumbnail.
Now here comes the Taliyah wall once more to begin the siege.
All right. Yike not quite able to connect on the Sonic Wave there. Fnatic again really set up to just take this tower without being contested. Mid-wave needs to be cleared out. Hook on the Caps! Mikyx luckily there to save the day. Good heads up from Jun to put the ulti onto him. Caps now trying to go back onto Razork. Good little bit of damage. Yike really can't do much of anything. Broken Blade finally starting to hurt, but not enough! And now Smolder calling in Mom. G2 find a bit more space. Again, Mikyx already taken out. Fnatic with a 14k gold lead, this should be easy, but again, this is credit to G2 for slowing it down as much as they have. Fnatic are playing with the utmost respect, do not want to flip anything, know that the win is theirs if they play it out controlled and collected.
I mean, absolutely, it is their game to lose. They know there's another dragon spawning in a minute and a half. Another inhibitor down means that they can just take their time. 4th item completed, there's the death cap for Noah.
That's gonna hit like this is ADC Kai'Sa now. It's just gonna hit like a truck.
10 stacks on the Dark Seal as well for Humanoid. Bit of a shame he didn't upgrade that into the
and again, like in a different game, we know he would have.
He definitely would.
But again, a lot of respect, I think, being paid for Fnatic and G2, despite their massive advantage.
They are fully locked in right now. Fnatic want to end this game out cleanly. Noah about halfway to level 16. Will unlock the final point in his ultimate. But we've sung the praises of every Fnatic member, really. They've been having a great game overall.
Everyone's doing good. Again, I think, though, that as much as we highlighted Razork and Humanoid, just a reminder that Oscar, in isolation against Broken Blade, built this lead for himself, and it is a big reason as to why Razork and Humanoid were able to take so much control in this game.
I will say, I feel like we've gone back. I forget what season it was. Junglers building support items again. You know that?
Always come full
Night's
circle.
Vow, we do indeed. Oh, Yike, he's dead.
Gonna get taken out here. Noah goes in. Big burst damage. Kathy and Rain going to finish the job as Noah is now unstoppable, and that means access to the Drake for Fnatic. Excellently timed.
I mean, the
pick.
Baron spawning right
Baron,
now.
excuse me, yes.
Yeah. He's. I mean, they can get the Soul too if they want. If they want to do this full tutorial style.
2 members of Fnatic already moving to cover that
hang on,
option
this
for
is,
G2.
I mean, again, it's a near perfect game. 0 towers lost, 0 grubs conceded. They did lose a Drake, 5 kills down as well, but the undefeated G2 getting near flawlessly stomped by Fnatic.
Incredible game. And Smolder not enough. You know, pre-Hopfix, he would have had like 30 extra autos on that E. It might, maybe 20 seconds on cooldown. I don't think matters too much at this point in the game, but 425 stacks on a level 15 Smolder with 3.5, maybe 4 items now that he's had a bit more time to farm. Not enough to get through this Fnatic lineup.
What else is there to say, really? It's a matter of time. Fnatic playing the patient side. They have everything. Soul, Baron. Now they just need the team to group and end the game. They have the super minions pushing in top. I think that bot, the bot inhib just respawning. You can see the time is just above our minimap. Fnatic have their eyes on mid, though, and this is the last line of defense for G2. Level 16 secured for a few members.
Oh my gosh, look at the poke damage. Kai'Sa poke versus Smolder poke. Taliyah.
Wave clear is still a problem. I feel like Fnatic can't fully commit 5 members here. Yeah, nice. They've sent Humanoid bot. He has the ultimate ready. Wouldn't be surprised if he throws that down. Like, they've done a really good job of using Taliyah wall to just siege. Oh. Ooh. Close.
Server's teasing us. That would have probably been like 30 to 40% on Thomas' health bar.
Here we go, Taliyah wall. Here we go, nice.
Isolating, Hansama gonna have to fly. Does get on the right side of the wall, but they managed to catch out Caps. Knockback is there, coming in 2. They're trying to buy a bit more space. Mon comes down to the top, and it's just not gonna do anything. Broken Blade laying down a couple of daggers, but already the pick getting kicked off. Mikyx gonna get picked off as well. The shield still keeping him alive for now, but Oscar's already into the back line. Capso trying to fire back. Jonas get taken down, and Hansama's still up. Caps dashing forward. 1 more stack left. Fnatic trying to break to the base. Fnatic looking to end the game right here. They've got the Chemtech Soul. G2 need to retreat. Hansama, the only one on the front line, has to be careful. If anything hits him, he drops and G2 lose. Very tense final
has
moments.
The flash still. He's sidestepping all of this damage. The inhibitor's going to fall. G2, overall, a very solid fight for them. Their base is in tatters, but it's making Fnatic uncomfortable. They see how low the health bars are, and they're going to back away. G2 have managed to keep the game alive. And if you are a Fnatic fan, now's the time to be a little worried. Not so worried.
Yeah, we talked about the 500 CS Sivir win condition, and we talked about the 500 stack Smolder win condition. So Hansama was at 470.
Look at Yike. He tries to make a play onto Noah, doesn't quite get the kickoff, ends up kicking Jun in, loses his life against the flash out from Noah. A lot of damage done onto Noah, though, means that he can't quite get the damage that he wants to. Does land a big W onto Mikyx. But then Caps and Hansama on the backside get very close to getting a kill onto Humanoid. He plays at the very edge of his range, though. already Fnatic back out onto the
All
map.
going in. Fnatic want the Thunderdome. They want the 5v5. Oscar waiting over the wall. Knock back onto Hansama, but he doesn't hit the wall. Crucially, Caps now dashing away. Mom now coming into the top. Noah off to the backside. Keep your eyes on Yike. The flank coming in for the Lee Sin. Hansama knocked up. Oscar now looking to finish the job. Mikyx coming through, though, with the Devour. Caps getting lower and lower, but still living for a brief moment. Extra Humanoid now legendary. Hansama spitting hot fire, but it's not hot enough. Razork finds the angle. Noah takes him down. Finds his prey in the final moments, and Fnatic, they'll finish the job. They'll move up to 4-1. They'll bring G2 down and tie the score at the top of the table.
A smiling Humanoid after an impressive performance from Fnatic. 25 kills to 6. A dominating performance. And the mid-jungle, really the pride and strength of this G2 roster being shut down by Razork and Humanoid. You can vote for your key player of the game at LEC, Onyx, Oscarinin, Razork, and Humanoid. All very great options. I think they all played incredibly well.
And I think good job from Fnatic. You know, they punished the picks that G2 brought out. They punished the scaling option in the Smolder, and they just did not let up. They did not give G2 a single avenue back to the game. Give it up for Fnatic, everybody. And for G2, you know, back to the drawing board. A little bit more temperance, a bit of a more maybe respect moving forward up in their Fnatic matchups. A lot of people are already wondering, you know, now that NRG is not going to MSI, have they taken their foot off the gas? You know, were they resting easy? Realizing their greatest opponent had already been eliminated, forgetting about their former greatest opponent, Fnatic.
I mean, I definitely think that people were concerned, is this just going to be an easy split for G2? You know, they won Winter, they're maintaining that form, but Fnatic saying, nope, we've recognized the mistakes of our Winter split. We're definitely on form, and they showed it here today. 4-1, as you rightly said, tying it up with G2, both now sitting at the top of the table. Gonna make that race and fight into playoffs so much more exciting. Usually 5 is the cutoff for playoffs, usually. So both these teams on track to secure that spot in top 8.
They certainly are. Of course, later on PGL, Laure will be joined by Razork, Yike, and Broxah for a jungle roundtable. But first, Ginny, the standing boy with Humanoid. I can't speak, but Ginny, I certainly hope that you and Humanoid can.
Okay, standing boy. I mean, we do have a standing boy or Humanoid. Thank you so much for joining me for the interview. Congratulations on your win. Just to put it into perspective, I'm sure you guys are very proud of yourselves, but to further show it off, the last time Fnatic won against G2 in the regular season was in spring 2023. So that was a year ago.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
So you must be very proud right now.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to win against them always. So, yeah.
Okay, looking particularly at the team's performance and the team's morale after this, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty high. So far, spring has been really great for you guys. What has been that transition like from winter into spring? What's been the focus?
I think our main focus was to play better in the mid game. Because last split, we were kind of just, everyone was just doing their own thing, and we didn't play as a team. So we worked a lot on our macro, and I think it shows a bit in our matches. So, yeah.
What has it been like for you as the mid laner in terms of focusing on the macro, focusing on these mid games more? What does that bring from your gameplay side of things?
I mean, I'm mainly just trying to call which side we play on. For me, that's my role, basically. And other than that, I'm just trying to, you know, play team fights well, and that's it.
Well, you guys have been doing that really well as well. In terms of gelling together as a team and having a prolonged period of time coming from winter into spring, not any changes coming through, how has that been for you as a mid laner as well? Does it just make you more comfortable?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I kind of don't like when every single year there's just changes in the team and you have to kind of start from the start. So being able to play for a longer time, even though we play together only for 1 year, most of us played together for 2 years. So it feels good, and we are really comfortable together.
On the other side of the coin, though, there are teams who have made a couple of changes coming into spring. Do you think that could also be bringing something positive to that?
I mean, I think the teams that finish low on the standings, they for sure should change stuff, because it's obviously not working. So I think it's positive for them, yeah.
All right, that's good to know. And when you're looking at yourself, you're looking at Fnatic, you're looking at how well you guys have been doing so far over spring, what is the end goal?
Well, it's to win the LEC, for sure, for now.
Okay, and in terms of looking forward to, I think, again, G2 is a team that's been highlighted a lot in terms of how they're performing locally, and there have been questions whether or not there is going to be competition for them. Obviously, now there is, you guys being that competition. Are you thinking about the international stage? Do you have anything in mind for that?
Well, for sure, we want to go to MSI, right, and do well there, but I think first we just focus on the LEC now, and the MSI win will come after.
Do you guys feel invincible right now?
No, I don't think so. We just won one game. I don't think that means that much. But we feel like we are strong, so it's fine.
You guys have proven it. So, well, we have Razork on the other side with Laure. He's been doing incredible as well. Anything you want to say to him before we toss it over?
Yeah, keep playing well, bro.
That's keep playing well, bro. Thank you so much. Laure, back to you.